Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off the last time in our chill Ottoman game in Universalis 4. Yes, technically the Ottomans are currently not called the Ottomans. They're the Caliph, or Caliphate faction, because one of the Ottoman missions turns you into the Caliph, or requires you to turn into the Caliphate nation. But yeah, basically just waiting for our guys to walk back into friendly territory. Line up in friendly territory before we declare. Yeah, and then we're just descending on the poor Americans. I guess this is probably most of the high-valued American territories in the northeast here, which is why we got so much off of them in physical land space in the last war. We probably weren't grabbing the most valuable stuff. Everyone lined up roughly in territory? Yeah. You're reined in, you're a colony, reined in. First we're integrating, not reined in, rein them in. And the colony, okay. Oh no, we're going to be breaking treaty law again, but, you know, we don't care about losing some stability. Stability is cheap. There we go. Restabilized. Back in a state of war with the Americans. Let's kind of look at what the war might be again, before we actually start sending the troops in. Oh, lagging on that menu. Once again, we'll try to revoke cores the Americans have on our subjects, and then we'll start pushing them eastward. See how much we can grab in theory. Looks like we're going to be able to grab everything west of the Appalachians. Yep. Apparently squeeze that in as well. So that would be 100% war score. Obviously, we haven't yet begun to fight, so the Americans are not willing to accept this. But that's giving us an idea of what the territorial exchange may look like. Still have more armies out west. 15 armies out west. Okay. probably going to miss a few. In the initial assignment, because we don't, well, don't quite have enough to go everywhere, but we got enough to go most places in the West Appalachian area. Oops. Well, I did screw that up. Hit that X and not that X, which are very different X's. And at that point, then I just clicked and deselected everyone. Okay, hotkey V does what I want. Much easier than trying to click on a very specific location. Okay, there goes the troops. Very open stage of the war. We are catching Americans right off the bat. Looks like we're winning most of the early exchanges we're getting. It's always good to see. We know we've got guys all the way up to like here, so I'm going to wait until the guys actually arrive before we start trying to move guys forward. Except in the east, where we know we have more places. We need more places than people far east. Well, I say far east. The Eastern American seaboard, we need more troops to move forward and continue taking places. Whereas the west, we've got plenty. Oops. Well, I think that stack's gonna lose. Let's be fair, I think that stack's gonna lose. Every once in a while you every once in a while you lose one because you've got too much going on that you can't pay attention to everyone, I suppose. This is a chill game, not a try-hard game. Okay, you divert back to go deal with the rebels. You don't need any people defecting to NATO's. Granted, the natives we would, in theory, have a big treaty with, so it wouldn't be as bad as defecting to the Americans. Yep, I think we're going to get up to 100% war score. Well, close enough to 100% war score real quick here. American separatists. Tell the American separatists that is a bad idea. For them, not for us. Okay, we've got them up to 85% war score. They're not quite willing yet to take the 100. In fact, one of them have... There we go. One of our subjects got to a place first, I assume. Yeah. There we go. 158 positive to 164 negative, so just a little bit more. And then we gotta then reset the war. Up to 91% war score. Your subject gets somewhere first as well, yes. Okay. And deliver the ultimatum. The Americans surrender. We lost 3 times as many troops as the Americans did. Well, just under 3 times as many troops as the Americans did. But, you know, we can accept that casualty ratio. And still keep it kicking. Okay, let's get our guys back to green territory. Okay, it looks like we need to core some stuff. Yeah. Wait, that should hand over the stuff. Actually, I'm surprised that's not handing over. We'll see in a moment. Might be a little bit aggressive if I'm getting some of these cores going. One, yeah. Oh wait, yeah. So some of that will defect over to the North Colony. Some will defect the Louisiana Colony. Some of that should actually. Okay, it all should go to someone, but we'll see if it actually does go to someone sensible. Okay, those 5 armies are going to send south. We got 5 up here that we're going to send just over here. Our guys, in theory, walk back to friendly territory. Or we reset and repeat. Okay, this time, well, the next time, Americans should cease to exist. And that actually only took a 18 minute period of time, so we might be able to do the next wave in this video. The French are attempting to escape. Or, well, rebel. We had rebels somewhere else. At least we have land combat. Wait, there's a double stack there? Oh, no, we had land combat over in both places. Okay, both stacks have been dealt with. Okay. Looks like our troops. Some Caliphate separatists over there. Jump them. There. Jump them. Yeah, we should otherwise be ready for take number 2. New the Caliphate. Okay, some of these don't work quite well for names, I suppose. Don't declare war on the colony, declare war on the United States. Makes sense why we're going to -3 stability there. Okay, truce breaking, taking their stuff. And yeah, we have more troops to send in if we need to send in more troops, because we just do. More and more and more is available. Oh, I suppose we can obviously come look at these diplomacy panel here is taking a while to come up. Come on, there we go. What it look like to annex the whole country? Sorry about that. Well, poking my nose, I redirected my breathing apparently into the mic. Let's see if we can move the mic a little bit, so that's a little less likely to happen. That's taking everything that is in the forts. That's and the forts on, so that is a full annexation. One core that we can request. Okay, and obviously they're not willing to accept that yet. Oh, I just realized something. Oh, good. It was like I didn't think about places like Marina, but no, it said free Linux there. So this is all the things. You're playing for the remaining chips on the board. Some of these fights are running a little closer than I would have liked, but we're winning them, so that's kind of all that matters sometimes. We need the middle land and the army, not necessarily kill the army. Oh yeah, okay. We'll take the 31st military attack as we can. Revolutionaries! And revolutionaries in Lusitania. Okay. We haven't sieged down both American forts yet. Oh no, we've sieged one of them down. We haven't sieged the main one down. Sieged the capital though. And we've basically chased the American army into northeast here. Deal with separatists. Separatists over there. You deal with those ones. Actually, no. You deal with those ones. Deal with both those ones. Don't care about the zealots. Okay, will the Americans surrender? They will. End to American independence. Ah! That explains why they're willing to negotiate. So one of our subjects got to one of the American territories first. And took it as theirs, and I didn't check the peace treaty. Okay, we're just gonna pay. 3 more admin power, or 3 more stability to finish them off. %, that the last hold on American forces falls. Or separatists. There we go. Now we can annex the Americans, because there's only one bit left. And there we go. That is... You didn't see the Steam overlay giving it to me, but that is World Conqueror. And that is the first time I have personally achieved World Conqueror. It's not telling me the tooltip doesn't want to pop for it, but that's have every country in the world that is not you be your subject. It does say own or have a subject own the entire world, but uncolonized bits don't count. So there's a couple uncolonized bits over here that we technically don't own, but no one owns that, so that's fine. That's acceptable. It's like the Sahara Desert. No one owns the Sahara Desert, so it doesn't count against us. Okay, then I have one last thing I want to do before we call the chill Ottoman game done. That's because at the very onset I was like, I haven't played the Ottomans until we've had through the Ottoman disaster yet. And well, because of absolutism, we haven't suffered the disaster yet. It's time. It's time to trigger the disaster. And the answer is our glorious absolutism, what we used to conquer the world, must go. We might as well get a lot of perks for it in exchange. Civilian modifier, yearly corruption down. That sounds like a good thing. We'll take that. Ottoman Vanguard, sure. The Dhimmi. We don't need the governing capacity modifier. We will take the governing capacity modifier. That sounds like a good thing to do. Probably don't need that manpower. Got some basic U and some basic U. Some reform progress? Sure. And all of this is to lower our maximum absolutism. Merchant Guild. Again, we'll hand out the governing capacity. We don't really need it, but I think it's something that's decently good. See the expansion privileges, sure. Spree enterprise, land rights, right to council, land rights, clerical matters, oversight by the ulama, development of the temples. So it's under here, there's the expand fortifications, yeah. Okay, what has that done to absolutism? Absolutely cratered it, as we wanted. Okay, so this should now start ticking up. It's still going to take quite a while, so we're going to have to keep the whole nation... Well, we want to keep the whole nation from falling apart. That's the whole gist of the crisis here. Done something to significantly destabilize the nation, now we just need to keep it from falling apart. Why disaster officially fires? Okay, Specialist Rebels dealt with for the moment. So I think we can probably crank the game speed up to get this crisis to approach quicker. So we need more money? We don't need more money. I suppose I could sell titles to make it go a little faster. So some of this is the back-to-back wars coming back to haunt us. The colonials that we have are kind of suffering from the fact that they have much cores they're missing. No core here. Yep. I didn't leave them a particularly stable government, particularly stable position to rule over for the moment. hand them a bunch of American territory, basically told them, figure out how to make it work. Well, I suppose one thing we can do is we can drop a couple of the policies. Don't need the advisor cost reductions. We'll drop that one to get the dip power back. We'll see. We might want to actually use that one once the coalition fires. We might reinstate that one when the coalition fires. Might be that one once when the coalition fires. Or when the crisis fires. So many rebels. Like, I know exactly where it's coming from. It's instead of me going 100% over the overstone threshold, all the colonial nations over it right now. So, well, all the ones that could take stuff from America are over it. So, gotta be a little patient. They're gonna have a little bit of a rebellion problem for a while. Wait, to help them a little bit, let's go around and give them an influence nation. They aren't influenced already. Now, the reason being is influence nation, I believe, bring it up here, +1 monarch power in the category that weakens. So in this case, this guy's weak as an admin. He actually needs admin for the coring, so that will help him core faster. This one's military, which won't help as much, but I suppose they might use it for suppressing the rebels as well, so. Yeah, most of that stuff doesn't really negative affect that much. Manpower recovery speed, tech cost, we've basically got most of the important techs. Port defense would be annoying, but it's not really a big issue. Healing legitimacy, not really a big issue. We've got all the ideas, we've got all the... Well, siege ability might hurt with trying to fix it after the fact, and the reform growth again. We've got all the reforms we need. So we're just waiting for that to tick up. What exactly causes when the crisis goes off? At least 100. You gotta have it hit 100. And then we gotta wait for it to advance. Can actually trigger. Which it's that in and of itself, it looks at it, won't be all that fast. Because most of it's things like, oh, have a rebellious subject. Or, yeah, have a rebellious subject or have an islet. We have an islet, so that we'll advance because of the islet. But I think that's the only one that's actually going to advance it. Yeah, that might be the only one that's going to advance it. We'll see. Might make it a bit slow to get going. I sent someone to deal with you. You go deal with them. See, you reigned in? Yes. Subject or colony. Sweden's too big to reign in due to development. When it comes down to the point where we're down to ones we just have to reign in, we might start pulling territory off. We'll see. We'll probably hold those guys on until we've actually got the crisis going. And then colony, okay. So that means put more on relations improving. Sure, we have enough mana anyway, yeah. Plus 10% cost, it's not an issue. Not an issue at all. Oh, I suppose if I wanted to speed this up, we should lower our stability. So maybe if anything causes the stability to go down, we won't just immediately turn around and raise it. And we're focusing diplomacy, right? Yes. You remained in? No. Really, you only care about suppressing separatists and a little bit of revolutionaries. because the revolutionaries can cause nations to declare independence. Yeah, they're suffering a little bit from the overextension. They'll deal with it eventually. Oh no, the queen is dead. You reigned in. You are. I definitely got a couple places we could start integrating. Oh, you're not reigned in. Rein him in. Well, but we also don't have the Diplo power. So we're turning Diplo power into integrated subjects as quickly as possible. Where are we on that decadence? 12? 12 of 100? Conversions, more rebels. Okay, looking at the time, we're gonna let it hop to January the 1st here. And we're gonna go ahead and put a part break in. So hopefully the next part we will see the crisis. Whether or not it's enough time in the next part to actually deal with the crisis or not, don't know, but hopefully we will get to the crisis in the next one. So with that, I wish you all the best of luck and good time. If you're watching YouTube, there probably will be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break, and then we're going to get right back to it. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.